So that kind of goes back to interest, right? It depends on how well you performed in front of people. I know I got some invites to camps from the D1 level that you could just tell that I was not one of the coach's guys, right? It was just hey, I did pretty well during the high school season. I was playing on a really good AAU team, and maybe they caught wind of me or something like that, and they were just throwing you out a flyer and seeing if it stuck, right? There's the difference, and I think it goes back to the interest side of things. It's how often does a coach care to reach out and check on how your well-being is, because you can tell if a coach cares, and if a coach cares, you're on his list. If he doesn't really have if he kind of gives you the limbo, the in and out, like, hey, sorry, I was doing this, majority of the time he was doing that, but the guys he wants, he's going to make sure he reaches out to you, right? And I think it's just like a relationship in life, like husband and wife. Like if something happens to your wife or to your husband, you're going to reach out to them right away, right? You're not going to wait because it's urgent, right? And if they show, I wouldn't say that type of care, but if they show you that type of similar care to when they're reaching out to you, responding to you, you know you're on your coach's list. And if they're trying to get you, the process goes faster and faster and faster for you, it means you're probably up on their board. Everybody, I don't think this is breaking news, but if you walk into any coach's office, they have a list of recruits
On a
and it
whiteboard.
goes on a whiteboard, and it's right next to their diamond that they have of their starting lineup and their backups for the year. And then they have their recruits and where they're going to fit in. If that's breaking news, we might need to help you more than you need to help yourself in the recruiting world. But usually when you see that board, they're going to have interest, and they're going to start sending out more emails or more text messages, or, hey, he threw a nice game the other day. I just looked. I'm going to give him another call. We need to get him on campus again, or I need to get him face to face. So you could tell quickly based on a lot of stuff, and it has to do with communication. Communication's big on if you're a guy or if you're just someone that they're floating around to see if you'll come in, or if you're going to end up going to another school, and they won't bat an eye if they lose you.
I think the important part there is you don't understand how quick it'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is you could throw a game in, let's just say the Boston Invite at the end of the summer, right, in the end of July. You could end up on that campus 2 days after you pitch, or 3 days after you caught a game.
I've seen same day.
Right. So, if you're in the area, right, and it's same day, and the coach talks to you and says, hey, going back to the office, you want to come do a visit while you guys are in town? Like, that stuff does happen. And I think the gray area, again, with that is people don't understand how fast it can happen because of how much downtime essentially there is in recruiting. And what I mean by downtime is nobody could be on, you could be the best player in Connecticut, right? And nobody could be on you for 4 months because you're just not fitting in what they need. And I say this all the time to parents, and it's kind of a gray area question again, but like, unless you have somebody that knows a coach on the staff or a head coach on the staff or somebody that's involved with it, you don't know what they're recruiting. So you might be the best shortstop in the state of Connecticut in the 27 class, but Yale might not need a shortstop. Central Connecticut might not need outfielders. Sacred Heart might not need a catcher. You won't know that until you won't ever know that.
You won't ever know that
Right.
unless someone talks to them or you talk to them yourself. You'll never know what they actually need.
So and then that goes back to what I say all the time about lying about connections. Because if somebody says, hey, I know Sacred Heart and you're a catcher and you want to go there, and they don't need a catcher, you're never going to know because they're never going to reach out to you, even if you're the best catcher in the state of Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lost comparison of kids of they're fed essentially lies, right? At the end of the day, where it's like, all right, this is why we're not in the right priority. Like you're not a priority on this guy's list because one, the person that's telling you that can get in contact with them can't get in contact with them. Two, you're not a priority because they're not even looking at you. And three, you better start looking for another school because that's not going to be the school you end up at.
Mm-hmm.